Well.
Okay, I'll go first. It's not easy. And sometimes I get frustrated because it's like, I have buttons, okay? I have... But why don't my hands glow?
You know, I punch, right? I punch.
Yeah,
I punch well. But could I punch better with a jetpack on?
It's hard not to be a tad bit envious, but also I phase, so...
Obviously, my fighting skills are the best of anybody's, the group. The best of anybody's in the group?
Look,
it's the reality. Doesn't mean
I can phase. I don't get why.
Guys, this is the arm of honesty. Only the person holding the arm may speak. And
not cool.
this is the helmet of acceptance.
Hey guys, welcome back. We just got done watching the Thunderbolts, and we finally got a review out a couple days later. But we're gonna go over a little non-spoilery and get right into it.
Yeah. So my first overview of or thoughts of the film were it was very much a mental health movie. It felt like it.
I feel like going to therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, for me, I made the mistake of watching it alone in the theaters.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more. You don't feel more alone when watching a movie about feeling alone. When you're alone.
Well, that makes you resonate with the movie more.
It did make me resonate with the movie quite a lot. I was like, every single time they mentioned anything, I was like looking to my sides, and like there were multiple points in the movie where I would want to turn and like something I would like look at you and comment on, or I'd look at someone
They're
comment
just
on,
gone,
and there was no one there,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, and there were like 10 people in that movie theater too, so it was like an empty movie theater.
Yeah, you could have went up and sat next to whoever is in there.
I could have, but that would have been weird. Like, I'm not that kind of guy.
I talked about this because I've mentioned to one of my really depressed friends to go watch this.
Oh, really?
And he's like, I have no one to go with. I was like, go by yourself. It'll be an experience. But
It would be, yeah.
I was like, you can make friends in a movie theater.
Yeah, you can. My thing is though, is that there's that respect that you have to have for people who watch movies, like in the theater.
Yeah, you can't talk to them during.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I mean, when we went and watched
Minecraft.
Was it Minecraft? No, not Minecraft. It was the one immediately after that. We went and watched. I think it was with the Sinners one, but I'm not 100% sure. But there was a guy just in the concession stand, and he was like, "Are you guys gonna watch this movie?"
No, that was Until Dawn.
Until Dawn, yeah. And he asked us if we were gonna go watch some other movie, and we were like, "No, man." But like, you could tell he was watching it alone. He wanted someone to watch it with him.
Yeah, that guy was really cool. I actually wanted to change my ticket to go watch
too.
the movie with him.
Me too. Yeah, I was like, damn, like I really want to watch this movie with you because he seemed really cool and he had a little story about his daughter and everything. That was really sweet. I wanted to go talk to him, but
we should have just paid for his ticket and be like, hey man, just come watch the movie with us.
I so genuinely thought about it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, regardless though, what the fuck was that?
That was my radio.
Why is your radio on?
I don't know. Imagine.
Bro, the Thunderbolts are calling.
Yeah, Paul, you got a copy? Anyway, if you're even alone, you should go watch this movie. The reason why they're the mental health Avengers is what everyone's calling them.
Yeah.
Is because each one of these characters are pretty fucking twisted. And dark, and they all have their own issues and things that they never really dealt with.
Yeah.
Throughout these movies. And the only person in the film who actually has like a grip on his entire life is Bucky.
And even then, he's only got a grip on his life because he's gone through and like worked on it
a lot.
And he's been through more, I would say, than some of them.
Probably any of them.
All of them.
Yeah, but he came out good in the end, so he's kind of guiding these characters through to be better people, reluctantly.
Yeah, very reluctant. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, my biggest highlight of the film was the Sentry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I so genuinely loved every scene.
Yeah, Bob.
With Bob.
Yeah.
Bob. Because the minute he was introduced, I was like, oh, this guy's funny.
Well, yeah, he introduced him and he goes, "Hi, I'm Bob."
Yeah, like in like a high tense situation.
Yeah.
I'm Bob, and like he just you can tell he's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, he immediately, and they're all talking to him, and they're like, "Are you like a government assassin or something? Like, are you trained super soldier?" He's like, "No, I just walked in here."
Yeah. And then they're like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I told you, I'm Bob."
Yeah. But his character really kind of, I would say, takes the spotlight between him and Florence Pugh.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But
How do you pronounce your name?
Florence Pugh?
Pugh? I'm pretty sure it's Florence Pugh.
Maybe Pugh.
I don't know.
I thought it was silent. I thought that P was silent.
I don't know. I guess
thought it was Flew, like Flew. Florence Pugh.
I don't know. I've never heard her or anyone in her circle mention her name before.
Maybe it's Flew. Flew.
Pew.
The more we say it, the more it's hard.
It's getting messed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, Florence Pugh, who in the movie she is Natasha's sister, aka Black Widow, but she is a Black Widow as well, right?
She is a Black Widow herself.
Yeah, and so I feel like we've been seeing just a lot more Black Widow assassins coming out.
Oh yeah.
Since Natasha Romanoff's death.
Well, because she saved them all.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Fucking 10 years ago.
Spoilers for a movie that came out 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, it's because in the Black Widow movie, she saves them all and destroys the Red Room and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're all trained. So it makes sense. But Florence Pugh is, she's going to be the next, Black Widow. That's, what they're setting her up for.
Well, it very much seems like they're setting her up for a leader role.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know about you, but I never felt like Black Widow was like a leader role. She always felt like a side character.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Except for in Black Widow.
Yeah.
You know?
Which I could see, her character being different and kind of taking that role.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the acting in this movie kind of nailed it completely.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone did a fucking great job.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love Florence Pugh's acting.
Yeah.
I think she's phenomenal, almost in everything.
Yeah.
But she cries.
Just ignore it. Just move on.
She cries in almost every single movie she does, but she does it so well that you're like, man, I can't wait until she cries in this movie.
Well, there's a scene she's talking with Bob that really was intense. But the scene at the end with her dad, which we'll get into.
Yes. Yeah.
That one was damn.
That one was harsh.
Yeah. Made me want to be a goalie. It was
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit. Oh man. Yeah. No, you're totally right. Because that shit made me sit there and think. I was like, damn, that's hard hitting right there.
But we can get to that in the spoilers.
Yeah.
Kind of to wrap things up, I did want to talk about the Sentry and how he's the Superman of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just go over a brief little thing of his powers and how he got it. So he gets his powers because he's a drug addict, and he takes the Golden Century Serum, thinking that it's going to get him high, and it does not.
Is this how it is in the comics?
In the comics, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In the movie, it's a little bit different, but he takes it, and then suddenly he's found with this super level powers of super strength, super speed. Just reading off on the Marvel wiki, immortality, the accelerated aging, transcendent enhancement, supernatural cognition, godlike body. Okay, and that's just a few. Then you go further down, and it's he has Megatron Punch, which is one of his powers.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Megatron Punch.
What? Enhanced lifting, enhanced physiology. Superhuman speed, strength, stamina, agility, reflexes, senses, hearing, superhuman microscopic vision, telescopic vision, infrared vision, X-ray vision, night vision, light vision, glowing eyes, enhanced. It actually does say God vision.
Does it seriously?
Yeah, it does.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Enhanced smell, cosmic awareness, invulnerability, self-subsistence, so he doesn't need to eat, Vacuum adaptation. I don't know what that is. Immunity, disease immunity, exhaustion immunity, nuclear immunity.
Bro.
Molecule manipulation, materialization. So you can just make things out of nothing.
What the fuck?
Particle manipulation, self-subatomic manipulation. Yeah, you get the point. Like, this guy is fucking OP. There's a whole other list of fucking powers here.
Yeah, this guy could literally...
You can also turn invisible. Like,
yeah, I mean, he could take out anyone.
Yeah.
Literally anyone he wants.
Which is the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
Is that he's supposed to be all the Avengers times 20 wrapped in one person.
Yeah.
But then he has a dark side.
Yes.
Which is even more powerful.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably talk about it in the
spoilers,
or in the spoilers version.
Yeah.
But I did have a question about that, which you might know, because you're more knowledgeable in that area. But the dark version of him, is the name of the dark version, like, does it have a name, or is it the Void?
They also named it in the movie. It's called the Void. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was curious about, because they did say it, but I was like...
Yeah, it's called the Void.
I didn't know if that was canon.
Yeah, it is canon, and it's also connected to that Venom movie we watched.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Really?
So that guy who, at the end or whatever, who's trying to kill Venom,
he
is the god of the Void. That is his, like, full ability.
That's cool. Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. But, like, that's why where symbiotes come from.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. But besides the point, stop nerding out. The movie was great. It was definitely a back to function for Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the more enjoyable movies of Marvel I've watched in a really, really, really long time.
Yeah, I can agree with that 100%. Yeah.
And I would even put it above some of the classic ones, and I'd put it right up there with like Guardians of the Galaxy, and not quite the first Avengers, but it's there.
I think it is on par with their earlier stuff.
Yeah.
Like, their earlier stuff evoked such like a feeling of, I don't know, excitement.
Yeah,
and
giddy,
like,
nostalgia, yeah.
Not necessarily nostalgia for me, but like because, I mean it is now, but like because I never really read the comics, so all the MCU stuff is my first real exposure to these superheroes, and so the first little, what do they call them, phases? The first phase of Marvel
1 through 3.
Yeah, I was so happy about every single one that I went and watched.
Yeah.
And then pretty much after Endgame, I kind of really started losing hype. And I don't know if it was just like Marvel fatigue, which I think it was. It's just there was so much Marvel going on. Like, you had all the TV shows, and you had all the movies, and you had to make sure you kept up with them all.
Well, yeah. There's like a thing that they're doing now, because they came out with this whole press conference. Quality over quantity is what they're trying to do.
That's good.
I think it was just COVID and a lot of things that made it bad. But yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Well, no, that's totally valid, because I think that's true, because that's around the time when I started losing interest in it. But then when I watched this movie, like, it felt like just the good old days. Like I was watching a Marvel movie, then I was like, oh my gosh, it's like they're rebooting it.
Kind of, yeah.
Which is kind of what they're doing, but
yeah, I mean, it is definitely that feeling of like, especially towards the end, once you see like all the things that they change, and like I mentioned, the score and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it definitely gives you that feeling of like, oh shit, like, we're so back.
Yeah, so seriously, yeah.
And I know you didn't watch Daredevil, but that was like another thing where it was like, oh shit, we're so back.
Yeah.
And it's just hype on hype, and hopefully Fantastic Four kind of lives up to the next thing.
Yeah, I'm actually so hyped for Fantastic Four too.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially with Pedro being in everything, it's hard not to love that guy. But this is the second movie before the next Avengers movie, before the whole Secret Wars things pops up. Because there's only this one and then the Fantastic Four, and that's it.
It feels like how they're building it up.
Yeah, but I would say easy, solid on like a grand scale, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'd give it 8 exploding suns.
Well, actually, no, I would give it 9.
You give it a 9?
I would give it a 9 purely because of the, not only the underlying tones and the underlying message of the film that like I did enjoy, and it did speak to me a little bit, especially because of how the circumstance I was in at that point.
You're acting so terrible.
I know, right? No, I was alone, and that's
love
literally
going to
it.
the movies by myself.
I hate it, dude. It makes me
Yeah.
feel so like a loser. Honestly, I'm like,
It makes me happy.
it depends. It really does. Because most of the time when I've gone and watched a movie alone
Yeah.
in my life, it's because I've been stood up.
Oh.
Either by a friend or someone I was supposed to go on a date with, and then I go into the movies waiting for them to come in, and then they never show up. That's why I felt like that. But
Well, for me, it's like, I don't know, going to the movies since I was a child was like things that made me really happy. Because like everyone has their vice. Some people like do drugs, some people drink alcohol, but you know, I do drugs and alcohol, go to the movies. So
Yeah.
it really makes me happy.
it really does, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing alcohol when I was there, bro.
You should have. Should have. 9 out of 10, I could bring it up to a 9 just because that is valid. The movie message did speak to me because everyone felt that way.
Yeah.
I think it's a universal thing.
Yeah.
Like, especially with the metaphors of the void and things like that. But, you know, you just gotta kind of push that feeling down deep inside you.
Yeah.
Just go to the movie. But I think that's it. So this is our non-spoiler. We'll see you in the spoilers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.